Now, Mr. Campbell, you have hunted all over with all kind of people like Night and Hale, and you've hunted all kind of different species of turkeys. In your opinion, what's the hardest turkey to call and kill in the U.S.?
I think they're all easy. I have no problem with none of them.
What can you say?
Well, the eastern turkey is probably the smartest.
All right, we with Mr. Campbell in Wilkinson County near his home, and we're just going to take a little walk and talk. This is part 2. Mr. Campbell, what's going on today?
Today we're going to talk about predators.
Predators?
Predators, the kind you can see and the kind you can't see. We're back on predators. One of the, in my opinion, the time that turkey egg is laid, there is a predator after it. From the time, if it's a 5-year-old gobbler, I'm after it. I'm a predator. There's predators that you can't see, and there's predators that you can see. But the time that egg is laid, something is after it. Whether it be a possum or a coon, house dogs is probably one of the worst domestic animals. Is one of the worst on eggs. That egg, 3 days before it hatches, it puts out an odor, and everything in the country can find it. They can smell it, and they will break that nest up, especially around big housing areas where there's, a few turkeys still in that area.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this too, because we talked about this. I know crows. A lot of times I have followed the crows to a gobbler in a field because that's where the crows were hollering. Are crows rough on nest and baby poults?
Crows will eat the eggs, break the eggs, and just slurp the egg, the yellow and white up. But when he does that, he may not get them all, but fire ants will. Fire ants will come in right behind him and get on them, that egg, broken egg. And turkey hen just can't sit there on fire.
And if you don't think there's fire ants, burn a hayfield off, and you'll get an idea of how many fire ants there are per acre in an area. You burn that field, I will guarantee you hundreds of fire ant beds. See, I can't even purr with a diaphragm, so there it is. I wanted to get Mr. Campbell's opinion on a couple other things too, one of which hogs have gone crazy of late. The population's exploded. It's nationwide, especially in our area. But I wanted to ask a man that's been around enough to have some wisdom. Have you noticed a big increase in the hog population?
Yes, the hogs has exploded in certain areas, not everywhere, but in this area where we're at today, there's plenty of hogs. And I lay it, the climate change is getting warmer and warmer, and they're getting together more, and they'll raise twice a year, January usually, and June or July, late June and July, she'll have her second litter. That's just too many pigs to contend with, annihilate them with,
but it's got to be done.
Somebody's got to take charge and catch more hogs, and I've killed hogs for a long time, but I just can't seem to annihilate them.
Well, I'd like to see them put a money value on a hog, whether it was to process for dog food or whatever. I think anytime you can put money on something, people will get after it and try to get rid of them. But
reward.
Right, bounty.
Reward on it. I can remember back in the 60s, they was $2 bounty on red fox and gray fox. And I could tried to catch all I could, but I never caught one until I got grown. And then there's no bounty on them then.
Yeah, that's always the way it works out.
Eastern. But I have no problem with him either. I've killed my share of them. I've hunted fall seasons, I've hunted spring seasons, and I heap rather hunt in the fall than the spring.
Really? Why is that?
Less turkey hunters.
There you go. That's a good point. Good point. Mr. Campbell, you have hunted a pile of turkeys for a number of years. Now, we've recently had regulation change in Georgia where it's 1 bird a day and a 2 gobbler limit. Do you think that has helped any with this turkey decline?
For 2 years now, I've watched the turkeys pretty close. We are having a comeback right now. In my house, I've seen 17 hens, 5 gobblers in the same field. 2 years ago, you might have seen 2 hens and 1 gobbler. So I think we're having a comeback on our population right now. In the next 2 years, they should be back to normal.
I sure do hope you are right. And I have noticed at the house, now maybe not right at my house, but around, we've seen more turkeys this year than we did in the last, I'm going to say, 5 years.
When I found the hen that had heartworms, I told several people that we're fixing to have a deduction in our flocks. I predicted this.
Now tell me about that hen again, because I'm not sure I got that on video.
It was opening day of, I think it was 1998. Yeah, it was 98. I found a turkey hen staggering in a field, and she was like she was drunk. I reached down, picked her up, carried her home. She died. I gave her to DNR. DNR carried her to Athens, Georgia, to a lab, and the cause of death was heartworms. When I seen that, several weeks later, I found 2 more turkey breasts that had been chewed on in the woods. They died from something, and that's when I put my prediction together that we're fixing to have a shortage on our flocks of turkeys. But now I think they're making a good comeback over the last 2 years that we have let them
change the regulations up and gone down to 2 gobblers and 1 bird a day.
Correct.
Now, Mr. Campbell, I know in places like Virginia that they can rifle hunt for turkeys, and you're telling me that in Georgia back when?
Back in the 60s, 70s, I killed my first turkey in 1973, but in 73 you could still hunt with a rifle.
With a rifle. Did it matter what caliber or whatever, or just whatever rifle you chose?
Well, I wouldn't want to hunt with a 30-06 because you wouldn't have no turkey, but you could hunt with a rifle. If I ain't mistaken, Florida still has a rifle. You can still hunt with a rifle in the state of Florida. But they banned the rifle because they thought, I guess they thought all these Georgia rednecks would go around killing all these turkeys out in the fields, but they didn't. And they have done well up until 3 years ago. And that's when the decline in our turkey population started, approximately 3 years ago.
That's right. All right. Now, Mr. Campbell, there's a lot of people that debate when you say I owl hoot in the morning, bird strikes on the limb, he pops off. Do you call to him on the limb, or you wait for him to fly down?
No, I will call to him on the limb, and if he answers me, I will call to him again and fire him up to the point that he wants to leave that limb and come to me. And 9 times out of 10, he will.
Well, me and you on the same page with that. I'm a limb caller too. Besides that, I like to hear them gobble, so there's that.
Right, but now I do call to a lot of turkeys that's already down and have good success with those too. but I like a turkey on the limb to start off with.
I hear you. Go.
This is Tink's turkey lure. Works every time. Works every time. Turkey can smell it 10 miles away and come to it.
Well, we know we're going to be on some birds this year because we'll be using the Tink 69. Mr. Campbell, we appreciate it. We appreciate y'all watching. Remember, that's wing bone calls. You'll see them on the sponsor page. And give Mr. Campbell a call, get yourself a wing bone. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next time on the Whitetail Cartel.